Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is November 30th, 2024, and this is episode 117. My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband and my two kids who are 14 and 13. Whew, it still feels weird to say that. My daughter had a birthday this month, so I forget that she's actually 13 now, full teenager. Yep. Although when she has all the emotions, I'm like, oh, yep, here they are, teenage emotions. If you hear any background noise, it's because it is a weekend when I'm recording. I'm a little off my schedule, but we have put up Christmas decorations. You can see some of them. If you're going to participate in Vlogmas, basically, if you're going to watch my Vlogmas, you'll see a lot more of our Christmas decorations, but you'll probably see a little bit in the episodes too. And if you're going to watch both, that's amazing. Thank you for that. And if you're just joining us here, welcome to my little crafty corner of the internet. What else am I going to say? I think that's everything on my list. I have a what am I wearing and works in progress, events, next on my needle, and some books. So let's get started, shall we? What am I wearing? You can probably guess that this is my sweater from last week. So I finished my NaNoSueMo sweater. Oh, there's the... So I finished my NaNoSueMo sweater in November. So it took me 19 days from swatch to finished sweater. And then I blocked it, which of course it's a worsted weight. So it did take like a full 24 hours to dry properly. But this is the third day I've worn it this week. So it's holding up super nice. I mean, we'll see over time how pilly it is or anything. Luckily, I do have a pill remover little gizmo that I use. Maybe I should do a video of that during Vlogmas. That sounds like an excellent idea. After recording me, take note. So the sweater is the Super Simple Summer Sweater by Hoki Locatelli. And she did hers in a cotton yarn or partially cotton yarn. I used that yarn habit in her worsted base, and this gray color is lustrous, and this is Everest, yeah, which is, it's like, it shows up kind of weird on camera, but it is, it definitely is green, but it's on that like teal side of green. So it's like a foresty teal green in real life, but I love it. I've been wearing this a ton. It fits me exactly how I wanted it to. And yeah, if you check out my Ravelry project page, I did a little photo shoot, put a bunch of pictures up there, and I'll probably post a few of them on Instagram as well, because it was super fun to, I had some good lighting one day and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pop out the tripod and take some cute photos. Anyway, I had fun with it. That is it for what am I wearing. Let's move on to finished objects. I do have a finished object this week, and no, it is not my Snow Wonder sweater, although that would have been amazing to get the rest of that done. But I do have a hat. So last week I talked about in Next on My Needles that I would be doing a test knit for my friends at Pib and Pin. I say friends, internet friend. Anyway, she put out a test call for this hat, and I thought, you know what, I can do a hat in a week. It's kind of a nice in-between project, and I had yarn for it. This isn't the yarn that I had originally picked for it. So I had originally picked some yarn from my cross Canada trip, but it turned out, it says that it's DK, but it is really more of an Aran weight because it is like, it's really dense. So, and this pattern calls for worsted. So I thought, well, it's a dense DK. I can make it work for worsted. It's kind of in that range, right? But when I knit it at the recommended gauge, it was like, it could stand up on its own and walk away. It was so, so dense. And while that is good for a hat because you don't want the wind coming through into your ears and stuff like that, doing the cable part with it was it was hurting my hands just doing like one cable. So I was like, you know what, this is not going to work. And so I picked out some Wool of the Andes from Knit Picks, and this is the Dove Heather colorway. It's just a nice light gray. I'm hoping that you're seeing the cables on there. If not, go and check out my Ravelry page. I'm going to have a little photo shoot either later today or tomorrow. I'm going to make Taylor wear it because it's a small adult size. It's the adult small size. But yeah, with this yarn, it worked out great. I did do something a little odd in that I knew that like there was 5 inches of 2x2 ribbing in a certain amount of cast on, and I knew that that was the easy part, right? So what I did is I actually provisionally cast on and knit the crown to the crown of the hat, and then went back and knit the ribbing down. So I think it's turned out cute. I put a little button on the inside, and for my pom-pom, I just picked this one at random from my bin. So I may change it out. I think a bigger one would actually look good on this, and then you could wear it slouchy as well. But yeah, there we go. That is my, oh, and I forgot to say the pattern is called the Likely Hat, and it will be released on Monday, December 2nd. So if you're watching this later than, you know, today when I record, then it'll be there for you to purchase that pattern. It was a really fun pattern to make. The cables were not hard. It was easy to figure out where you were in the pattern. When I put it down, the bobbles were super easy. They're not super bobbly. They're like a mini bobble and super easy to do. And it looks really good. Okay, I think I've waxed poetic enough about my finished object. Let's move on to works in progress. First up is my socks. So again, not much progress, but another couple centimeters on there. These are the Hermione Everyday Socks by Erica Luder. And yeah, I love the texture that it gives it. If you look at the bottom of the foot, because of course I didn't do the texture on there, the yarn looks great that way too. So yeah, it just looks good all around. And of course I'm in the middle of a row, so there's just needles and yarn everywhere. But this yarn is Fireweed Fiber Co. in her Sweet Pea sock, and this is the Tea Time colorway. I don't know what else to say about these socks other than like, I really need to work away at them. There's a lot of yarn left here. So I'm not going to make them super tall though. I haven't been enjoying super tall socks, but if I fold it at the heel and it goes just about to the end of the toe, that's like my perfect sock size. So it saves me on a measuring tape because I can just measure against the foot, right? And the other project I have is my Snow Wonder. And I can't remember where I was last week or if I've touched this at all, but I felt like showing it again. So here we are. So I have the neckband. I just need to decide if that's enough of the neckband or if I'm going to do a couple more rows. I might actually try it on to see. And then, yeah, all of that is done, which was done before. And I have not picked up for the sleeves yet, but I'm going to. Also, I'm going to try a new technique for the sleeves. So normally you pick up stitches under the arm where you've cast off here, and get rid of my hair. And then you always kind of get some like weird gapping where the live stitches meet that cast off edge. And I pick up extra and decrease them right away, but it always just looks a little funny to me, and it's under your arm, so I know, who cares. But what I'm going to do instead is use the live stitches and then use the backwards cast on loop method to cast on the same number of stitches that I would pick up from the body. And then after it's all done, I'll just mattress stitch them together, and then there won't be a gap. This is the idea. So I saw this somewhere else, and I really want to try it. And this is the perfect sweater to try it on because there is actually a decent number of stitches there. If it was 1 or 2 stitches, I would probably just pick them up and deal with it, but I'm interested to see how that fits and how it differs. So there we go. Snow Wonder is a pattern by Heidi Kiermaier. It's got these beautiful baubles on the front. I know I've showed it many times, but I just love it, and I'm ready to get back into that project. The hat was definitely a nice palette cleanser, but now we're ready for that again. Let's move on to events. I'm still participating in the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party, which is for this year until next year, February, so February of 2025, February 10th, in fact. And it's hosted by the Downseller Studio podcast. You can check out the link to her website in the description box below if you're interested in more details, but basically you get points based on projects you submit, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It follows the football season, but you don't have to know anything or watch football at all. So that is it for events other than Vlogmas. Vlogmas is coming up. I'm recording this on November 30th. Vlogmas starts tomorrow. There will be a pre-Vlogmas video out today, November 30th, that is going to go over all of my advents and my kids' advents and my husband's advents, although I don't know how much they'll be on the vlog, and kind of my plan for the month of December, some of the things you can hope that I can record in the month. This year, again, they are going to be shorter videos around the 5-minute mark. On my work day, there's really not a lot of interest going on because, I sit at a computer all day. It's not that exciting. The weekends might be a little bit more filled with action, but also, we're doing things with family and friends, and I'm not sure that everybody would like to be on the vlog, and it's kind of awkward to ask them, so I kind of just film bits and pieces without too many other people in it. But I will take you along for all the activities we're doing in the month of December, and I will be doing regular podcast episodes as well. Hopefully I'll get back to my Thursday recording schedule next week, and then that should work going through the month of December. And then we'll be in the Christmas break, and I'll be doing a stash update video at the end of the year, either the week between Christmas and New Year's or sometime into January. I haven't decided exactly when yet. It kind of depends on how busy things are. But yeah, I'll be taking everything out of my stash cubbies, my yarn cabinet, and taking a look at things and just tossing the stash and confirming numbers and figuring out my goals for next year. That's coming up at the end of December or early January though, so stick around for that. Okay, that's enough for events. That was way more than I thought I was going to say for events. Let's move on to next on my needles. I'm going to apologize in advance for the crinkling and try not to hold it too close to my mic, but I'm going to hold up some yarn that I got. I actually won this yarn. I won a gift card to Fangirl Fibers, and the December, I think it's Q3 prompt for the Downseller Studio Pigskin Party is to work with work in color work with Fangirl Fiber yarns. I picked this set, which, oh, there we go. This is her 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon DK weight. These are 50 grams each, and the colorway is Rebellions Are Built on Hope. And it's a half skein, so it's a 50-gram skeins. I think I said that already. So there are 6 colors in here, and I have a couple options on hat patterns that I want to do. I actually have 2, and I might actually end up doing both because of the amount of yarn that I have here. I also have the leftovers from the sweater that I'm wearing. This light gray would pair really nicely with these, although it is a worsted weight. I don't know. I haven't fully decided what I want to do yet. I might just use these yarns in the hat. I might not, I don't know. I have two options. I'm going to put them up on the screen, and they're both colorwork hats. The first one is like triangles that stack on top of each other. I think that would be really fun in like almost like a rotating pattern. So I could use all 6 colors in that hat and maybe do the brim a separate color, like this light gray. Or even the Everest, I think, would be nice in that too. And to have a nice, really like squishy brim would be nice. So that's option 1. And then the second one is more like a traditional colorwork hat. But I could do like, I'll pull this back up again, the burgundy, and the red and the black and the gray. Well, it's like, it's almost like a wine color, this one. It's not quite black. And I'll show them closer up once I start on the project, but I could do that more traditional colorwork one like that. Anyway, I will put on the screen all the details of each of those patterns, so stay tuned to next episode or Vlogmas to find out which one I chose. That's it for Next on My Needles. Let's move on to books. This week I have finished 2 books. The first one is So This Is Love by Elizabeth Lim. This is from the Disney Twisted Tale series. I listened to this one on audiobook, and I really enjoyed this one. So this one is a Cinderella retelling. So it's, there's just a couple different things happening, and this one is more of a retelling of the story. So it does kind of start at the point after the ball. You don't know any of those details, although there are a couple like flashback memory kind of things to the days before that, or to her earlier childhood and things like that. But the time progression starts after the ball and then moves on. And lots of different things happens. I don't want to spoil it because that one is a really good read. I would, if you enjoy that storyline characters, then I would say definitely. And like I said about the other books, you get more detail about the characters. This one I think was an 8-hour audiobook, so there was a lot going on in there. The other one I read was Unbirthday by Liz Braswell. And this is the Alice in Wonderland story. So it's after Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. It's later in her life. She's about 18 at this point. So she's on that cusp of childhood, adulthood kind of thing. And, and then she needs to go save Wonderland, basically. And the whimsy that is in there mixed with the like real things that are happening in her real world, I want to say, in England at the time, and, the things with her family, and, she's becoming a young woman now. She's, interested in boys and all that kind of stuff, all kind of interplays with each other. This one is a long book. This was almost 12 and a half hours, so there's a lot of detail in there, but there's a lot of characters. In Wonderland, we meet so many characters, and we get reappearances of so many characters. It is a very good story. I did find parts of it were long, though. I was like, okay, well, what happens next? I get it. They're having a conversation. What is happening here? So, and partly, I don't know if that's because I was listening on audiobook. Sometimes I'm listening while I'm doing dishes and stuff like that, and maybe I'm, not 100% focused on it. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite of the series, but it was definitely a good read, but it's a bit longer. And that is it for books this week. I picked up a couple new ones from the library that I've got going, so I will be updating those again next week. I will not be updating my books on Vlogmas in the same way that I do them here, but you might see like covers or whatever of the books that I'm reading, but I'm probably not going to review too much about them. Yeah, I think that is it I just keep looking at my notes. That is it for the regular episode this week. I hope you all have a good that is it for this week's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I also hope that we'll see you on the Vlogmas videos. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, all the great things. Feel free to share it with your friends if they're looking for, content, knitting related, crafty related content. And I hope to see you all on Vlogmas or next episode. Bye.